Ripley, listen, there's something I've got to tell you, and I know you're not going to be happy. Truth is, I've been a total Burke. The Alien franchise has been my favourite since I was about 10 years old, and I was looking down my trophy list and I realised there's not a single Alien game in there. I know, it's totally unacceptable. But I'm going to put this right. So what I was going to suggest is, I go out there, play some Alien games, pick up some trophies, and I really want you there.
Just tell me one thing, Burke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan. You have my word on that.
All right, I'm in.
I think...
So yeah, everything you heard there is true. 30 plus years of being an Aliens fan and not a single game on my trophy list. So originally my intention for this video was to play 3 games and do one epic platinum journey video. But over the few months I was playing, earning trophies, writing and editing as I went, things kind of changed. I ended up getting 2 platinums in the time, one for Aliens Fireteam Elite and one for Aliens Dark Descent. Both excellent games in their own right and probably 2 of my favourite platinum trophies. And it was great playing 2 games simultaneously, both completely different styles of game set in the universe that I love. Dark Descent constantly had my nerves on edge with its claustrophobic setting and tense gameplay, whereas Fireteam Elite had me mostly feeling like an unwavering badass. Ugh, fucking hell. Mostly. Problem was, my hyper-cautious, methodical approach to Dark Descent didn't translate into much of a platinum journey story. Fireteam Elite, on the other hand, offered up a lot more. Oh shit. And after finishing both games, the more I thought about it, a side story became the main story. And I think it's one that exemplifies so many aspects I love about gaming, trophy hunting, and gamers in general. So, I salute you Dark Descent, but I must leave you here, as I regale the beautiful viewer with my quest for ultimate badassery. Aliens Fireteam Elite is a third-person squad shooter. You form part of a 3-person team to take on various missions and shoot up a load of stuff. You can play with 1 or 2 friends, or if you have no friends, or are a bit cocky, or both like me, you can have a couple of artificial people tag along and help you out. How is this gonna go?
You never said anything about an android being on board, why not?
So Fireteam Elite has a bunch of grindy trophies for upgrading weapons and killing things, nothing to worry about. There's also a few collectible related trophies and some other miscellaneous ones that we won't concern ourselves with. The Platinum journey though, really starts and ends with completing the campaign missions on every difficulty. And maybe one other pain in the ass trophy, that we'll get onto. So I kicked off with standard difficulty. It's solid prep work, learning about the enemies, trying different loadouts, getting to know the maps, etc. It's fairly easy going, but it's a learning experience, and mistakes will be made. I actually can't take her out. Oh no! No! Oh!
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
Oh, fuck. Should have healed. I should have healed up. Why the f... didn't I bother? Standard difficulty. But eventually I scraped through.
Finish it.
It's hot.
Yeah, man, but it's a dry heat. Knock it off, Hudson.
Let's do it. Come on.
Keep firing!
Shit, I've taken a wrong turn. Come on. Oh my god. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, yes.
Learning to escape debris scanner.
So it's back to the beginning, and I take on Intense Difficulty. Intense Difficulty introduces the friendly fire mechanic, so now my team will take damage from each other. Take note of this, because there is a trophy tied to it. It's that annoying one I mentioned earlier. Intense Difficulty is certainly a step up, but by now I'm familiar with the game, and I found a loadout that seems to be working for me. The Demolisher class packs some pretty decent firepower. The iconic smart gun with its handy auto aim was working well for me.
Let's roll!
But the real selling point was the class-specific abilities. These are micro-rockets that can inflict some serious damage, and the blast wave that will stun enemies within a radius. These abilities can then be augmented to increase damage and blast radius in the case of the micro-rockets, and cause enemies stunned by the blast wave to take additional damage. This would become invaluable when taking on the larger aliens. So after playing through intense difficulty, I started again on extreme. And further build augmentation was required. See, in the game, there are these challenge cards that can be selected at the start of the mission, which add modifiers to the game, and sometimes additional rewards for finishing the mission. The ×3 experience card is great for leveling up weapons and classes, and significantly reduces the trophy grinds. The quit screwing around card is funny as fuck, as your team will now knock each other over upon contact. But the card that was key for me, the hanging chad for this particular build, is the overstimulated card. This little joker is going to half my kit ability cooldown time. Enter the rocket spam. So I'm tooled up and ready for extreme difficulty. And it went surprisingly well. A few deaths here and there, but my artificial buddies and I got the job done. Now it was time for insane difficulty. At this point, my build is pretty much as good as it's going to get, so I'm relying on skills and knowledge for this campaign.
Well, that's great!
And things started well. I mean, really well. Sure, there were a few deaths, but I was burning through these missions like an alien blood splatter. There were a couple of missions I had in my mind that could be potentially sticky, but I even managed to get through those. Yes, things were going well, and then I hit the wall. Mission 4-1. I think this is widely regarded as the toughest mission, and for good reason. This mission just loves bottlenecking your team into energy-sapping confrontations, and no amount of tactical weapon placement or cheese-build firepower was going to get me through this. The first point of note in the mission is this particular room. Once you pick off the already present synths, avoiding damage as much as possible, obviously, you're then locked in the room as waves of increasingly strong synths enter through 3 doors and close in on you. I tried multiple times, using various strategies, and only got past it on a couple of occasions, by which point my health was low and I was easy pickings. Death after death.
That's just fucking great, man! Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? There's some real pretty shit now, man!
So, I took a break from 4-1. Clear my head, you know?
Fine. You do that.
Maybe tackling another trophy will help. Remember that annoying one I mentioned earlier? The one for finishing a mission on intense difficulty or higher without any of my squad taking friendly fire? Yeah, I'll give that a go. One of the great things about these micro-rockets is they don't damage your own team. So that's surely going to help. I mean, I can avoid using my main weapons in tight spaces, so Pinky and Smegging Perky aren't screwing things up by running across my line of fire, right?
Fire.
Well, it was getting late. Feeling frustrated and out of ideas on how to tackle my android problem, and the 4-1 roadblock.
Well, I don't care how, but we better think of something. We better think of a way.
I did something I hadn't done before. I played online. Not really expecting much to come of it. Maybe I'd learn something new, a small strat here and there that would give me an edge in future attempts. And oh boy, did I learn stuff. First couple of goes went as expected. A disjointed band of gung-ho Rambo types, no synergy, no coordination, no hope. So I went back to the lobby and I sat there for a while. The online wasn't dead, but it wasn't like people were queuing up to play. I sat for a few minutes staring at the screen, and somebody pops up.
Yo! Stop your grinning and drop your linen.
Enter Longshane. The first clue I got that this person knew what they were doing was the class select screen. Longshane clocks that I'm a demolisher build and have selected the overstimulated challenge card. All members of a squad can nominate a challenge card, but when the mission launches, one will be randomly selected by the game and applied. In my couple of previous online games, there were 3 players, 3 different classes, 3 different challenge cards, all selected to suit our own builds. This ultimately meant 2/3 of the squad became hampered as soon as the mission started. But not this time. Longshane swaps out their character for the same class as mine, so we're both going to heavily benefit from the challenge card. So we start the mission, 1 bot in tow, and make easy work of the first section. Then we get to that pain in the ass synth room I spoke about earlier. We pick up the first set of synths, and I eagerly run into the room, with the intent of triggering the part with the waves of synths that keep killing me. But Longsheen hangs back in the corridor, and then sends a ping. So I have to activate the console and get back to the corridor. See, now the door can't close and lock us in the room, and I can get back out as the first wave of synths starts coming in. This is something you just can't do with Android teammates, because they'll always try and stick as close to you as possible. So we're both back in the corridor, and it becomes a shooting gallery. Absolute domination. I'm impressed. We continue to fight our way through, Longsheen continuing to show their expertise by setting up defensive perimeters and leading us to optimal defensive positions. And as we enter the alien hive, my palms start to sweat, as I remember what we are up against. This final section of the mission is going to throw everything at us from all directions. So we clear out the eggs, and I'm thinking about placing some turrets to help thin out the swarm that will inevitably descend upon us. But Longsheen has other ideas, and shows me what will be our defensive position for the coming battle. And I laugh out loud as I realise what we are doing. In this position, we are practically untouchable. The only potential threat is the long-range attacks from the Spitters. The battle becomes a slaughter. With the final alien decimated, we just have to leave the area to complete the mission, and I'm feeling pretty damn happy to get 4-1 out of the way. Longsheen signals the victory. Me, being an online noob, haven't bothered to learn how to use emotes, so as a gesture of thanks, I decide to use a medikit and heal him up. Mission done, and I return to base. And I notice Longsheen is still about. Wonder if he wants to do another mission. So I fire up mission 4 too, and we carry on. We rip and tear through this one. And at the end, Longsheen calls me over and does some damage to himself. See, there's a trophy for healing your teammates with medikits 100 times. Now bear in mind, we're not on voice chat or anything. At this point, I was like, yeah, this guy understands the assignment. So by now, it's past my bedtime, but this is just too much fun. We're having an absolute blast. I'm learning all the dark arts. There may just be time to take on the final mission. So we hit it. At some point early on, our artificial person gets killed. Oh no. Anyway, we advance quickly, knowing what awaits. The grueling final encounter, with wave after wave of increasingly strong enemies that we have to hold off as we run down the clock. The battle is intense. We edge our way towards our goal. Things are going well. We're holding our own, and I'm growing in confidence. But then, I fuck up.
God damn you!
I get too close to a Praetorian and get one-shotted. Longsheen doesn't have time to revive me, and I bleed out. I sit and I stare at the screen for a moment, cursing myself, feeling bad for letting Longsheen down with my rookie enthusiasm. What do? Abandon the mission?
I don't know.
I realise Longsheen is still fighting, so I decide to observe, and for the next 8 minutes I watch a one-man masterclass in alien obliteration. Longsheen finishes the last wave off and begins the frantic run back to the elevator to finish the mission. I am on the edge of my seat, and he makes it.
Not bad for a human.
And I'm amazed. Not only at what I just witnessed, but for the fact that I got the trophy for completing all the missions on insane difficulty. Even though technically I don't think I did. And as an added bonus, that android teammate that got taken out early in the mission wasn't around to get in the way. So I got the trophy for finishing a mission with no friendly fire. I am absolutely over the moon. After all the frustrations to get these 2 trophies out of the way and have this much fun doing it. Okay, I got schooled and ultimately carried, but I didn't care. It was an unforgettable experience. I thanked Longsheen, I hit the hay, knowing that I was just a few grindy trophies from that platinum. And eventually I got there. But this plat will always be defined and remembered for those last 3 insane missions. Thank you for watching. Thank you again to Longsheen. Much respect. Check out the link in the description for Longsheen's YouTube channel. There you can watch some awesome Fireteam Elite insane difficulty solo runs. Love you all. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.
They cut the power.
What do you mean they cut the power? How could they cut the power, man?